Third time is definitely a charm. We saw that with the Wolverine series, with the movies getting progressively better, and the final one, Logan, being the greatest, and Thor 3 is another example of it. It's a little backwards. I still think that Thor 1, as cheesy and as corny and as Shakespearean as it is, I thought it was okay. I hate the second one. The second one's boring. But Thor 3, it's one of the best Marvel Studio movies they've ever made. The director of this film, he directed Hunt for the Wilder People, and Wilder People was so awesome. They actually had a cameo, the sergeant, the police sergeant, she's in this movie, and she's kind of the same kind of very bossy-like character. Now, in this film, what we have is Thor is basically trying to prevent the whole destruction of Asgard, which is Ragnarok. However, due to Loki basically booting out Odin, putting him in an old folks' home, and damaging him with magic, Odin's time is up, and he just kind of dies. That's the first weak part of the story, admittedly. It just kind of happens, and I thought it was a little weird. It just was very sudden. But otherwise, then that means Hela, who is Cate Blanchett, the goddess of death, comes, and she basically destroys everything. And as Loki and Thor are trying to get back, they get on the Bifrost, they get shifted to Jeff Goldblum's world, where Thor finds out about what's happened with Hulk, and they basically are fighting to get back to save Asgard from Hela. Now, I'll admit, there's one thing that I should say, that there's one guy who's in this. Karl Urban's in it. Does he do much? He basically is kind of the character, this guy who's a loyal person who's forced to do ill will, but kind of, I don't know. His storyline is... I thought it was odd that Karl Urban's in this, because Karl Urban's meant for more than just that character. But the visuals and the music are fantastic. Something that I noticed in an interview about how the composer of this film tried to make the music different from Marvel movies. And if any of you have watched a Marvel movie and actually try to name music, it's all the fucking same. It's all the same kind of... It's never been very varied. So this was the first time we actually got to have some variancy. There's some techno, there's a lot of really cool side-scroller, inspirational 80s gaming music. I love the music. Also, they used the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin twice. The humor in this is so freaking great. There's ad-libbed humor, which apparently I actually thought would never work in a Marvel movie, but there's a lot of it, and it's very funny. The characters are fantastic. The whole route that Thor goes through is not that complex. It's kind of like how it was in the first movie, but he's really cool. Cate Blanchett is really cool. She's really awesome and evil. I feel that we aren't given enough time to really appreciate her character. She doesn't do that much in variancy of what she's built up to be. We just see that she's a freaking killing machine. So I was a little upset that she wasn't in the movie as long as I wanted her to be, but in the end, I still enjoyed her presence. Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth banter is fantastic. Jeff Goldblum is hilarious. The visual style of this movie is fantastic. I thought that it was a pretty big step for the director of this film, who directed Hunt for the Wilder People, which is a very, very funny but genuinely interestingly made indie film. And he goes and makes this, and he makes one of the best frickin' Marvel movies in the entire collection. So Thor 3 is definitely one of the funner movies of the year. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year, just because it was just a really fun time. The humor was great. There's some great humor. Absolutely spot on humor. And just the whole, admittedly, the story is a little bit by the numbers, of course. Everything kind of flows in the same sort of direction as a normal Marvel movie will. But admittedly, in comparison to films like Doctor Strange, who actually makes a cameo in this, because his little thing at the end of his movie is a part that happens in this movie, I thought that was cool. Tom Hiddleston as Loki, he's not going away. But I thought he was okay. I don't know, they kind of just drained the whole Loki. At one point they actually make a joke about how predictable Loki is as a character. So I thought that was kind of cool. The visuals, again, visuals were super cool. Thor with his lightning power was dope. But I enjoyed it. I was a lot better than I expected it to be. A lot better than it had any right to be. And it will definitely be the best one of the trilogy. I'm actually sort of now excited to see what happens with Infinity War. They make a joke about the Infinity Gauntlet being in Odin's vault. make a really good joke about that too. So aside from Karl Urban's character being kind of Odin's, what happens with Odin kind of being very quick and very sudden and not really well explained, and Cate Blanchett's character, who had the, I don't know, she isn't used as much as I would thought she would be. Otherwise, I still say this is one of the better, this is a great Marvel movie. So in the end, I will give Thor Ragnarok a 3 out of 7. Now, admittedly, I actually should, if I had the ability to edit this, I would bring up my rating for Logan. I gave that movie a 5 out of 7, and I don't know, I rewatched it recently, and I thought it was a little, that movie is, I truly appreciate that movie. To the point where, if I could, you know what, I'll do it. That movie deserved a higher rating. It should have been a 6 out of 7. Because I like Logan better than this movie just because it was a different story. But in the end, I still feel that Thor Ragnarok is a great time. You guys should definitely watch it. It's a good setup for Infinity War. And yeah, I thought it was really, really funny. Anyways, guys, that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be continuing on with my Stranger Things reviews as soon as I can. Talk to you guys later.